It was a quiet night in Michigan. The stars blinked silently above a small wooden shed. Inside, a man sat hunched over a strange machine, one that would change the fate of humanity forever. He wasn't rich, he wasn't famous, but inside that little shed, Henry Ford was building a revolution. Most people today know Henry Ford as the man behind the Ford Motor Company. But what they don't know is the story of the boy who once walked miles just to see a steam engine, and the man who defied millionaires, doubters, and even the U.S. government to bring mobility to the masses. This is not just a story about cars. This is about courage, about vision, about obsession, and how one man's dream, born in a rural farmhouse, ignited a global transformation. So if you think it's too late in life to dream big, to disrupt the world, or to leave a legacy, stay with us, because by the end of this story, Henry Ford will make you believe again. Henry Ford was born on July 30th, 1863, on a farm in Greenfield Township, Michigan. His father, William Ford, was an Irish immigrant farmer, and his mother, Mary, was a deeply spiritual woman who instilled in Henry a love for learning. But Henry was different. While other boys played in fields, Henry was pulling apart watches, clocks, even farm tools, just to see how they worked. One day, his father brought home a pocket watch. The next morning, it was in pieces on Henry's desk. Instead of scolding him, William listened as Henry explained how every gear worked. This wasn't destruction. This was destiny. As a teen, Henry walked 8 miles just to catch a glimpse of a passing steam engine. The roar, the steam, the motion, it hypnotized him. That moment sealed his future. At 16, he left home for Detroit, becoming an apprentice machinist. He lived in cramped boarding houses, ate cold meals, and worked long shifts, always with one thought in mind. One day, I'll build something the world can't ignore. After years of work, Henry built his first gasoline-powered quadricycle in 1896. But Detroit's elite laughed. A toy, they said. Real transport comes on rails. He tried forming a company. It failed. He built another car. Investors pulled out. He formed the Henry Ford Company. They kicked him out. 3 failed ventures. A bankrupt dream. Most men would have stopped, but Henry wasn't most men. At 39, jobless and ridiculed, he returned to his little wooden shed, lit by a single bulb, powered by obsession. He was broke, but not broken. One night, he turned to his wife, Clara, and said, "They all think I've lost, but I'm just getting started." With Clara's support, emotional and financial, Henry tried one last time. In 1903, with $28,000 raised from 12 investors, the Ford Motor Company was born. But the pressure was unbearable. If the company didn't sell a car within days, it would collapse. Then came Dr. E. Pfennig of Chicago. He ordered a Model A. That first sale was more than money. It was validation. It was survival. It was the spark that would light the world. Henry believed a car shouldn't be a luxury. It should be a right. The wealthy rode in style while farmers walked miles in the mud. He vowed to change that. In 1908, after years of design, he released the Model T. Simple, durable, affordable, reliable. It ran on bad roads and worse weather. Built for Americans who needed something strong. He priced it at $825, then, year after year, cut the price down. Why? Because Henry didn't want to build cars. He wanted to build freedom. He revolutionized the assembly line, cutting production time from 12 hours to 93 minutes. Every minute saved meant a cheaper car, and every cheaper car meant more Americans behind the wheel. In just 10 years, over half of the cars in the world were Model Ts. Not just a car, a movement. Farmers, teachers, laborers, people who'd never dreamed of driving were now traveling to cities, expanding businesses, chasing dreams. Henry had done the impossible. He put America on wheels. But Henry's journey wasn't without flaws. he was fiercely independent, often clashing with bankers, unions, and even President Roosevelt. During World War I, he tried and failed to launch a peace mission to end the war. He printed controversial anti-Semitic writings in a newspaper he owned, a decision that damaged his legacy. But there were moments of redemption. When workers demanded better pay, he shocked the world by doubling the minimum wage to $5 a day. Other companies cursed him until they saw what happened next. His employees stopped quitting. They worked harder. They bought the cars they built. Productivity soared. He also shortened the workday to 8 hours, revolutionizing labor standards. And during World War II, Ford factories didn't just build cars, they built planes, tanks, and jeeps, becoming a backbone of America's war machine. Through the good, the bad, the brilliance, and the blind spots, one thing remained true. Henry Ford never stopped believing in the power of ordinary people. In 1947, Henry Ford passed away at the age of 83, but his funeral wasn't just attended by dignitaries or CEOs. It was farmers, factory workers, mechanics, mothers and sons who'd driven cross-country in a Model T. His cars had carried soldiers to war, families to weddings, and dreamers to destiny. But Henry's greatest creation wasn't mechanical. It was possibility. He proved that you don't need to be born into money or power to move the world. You just need a shed, a dream, and the courage to never quit. Today, Ford remains one of the most recognized names in history, not because Henry lived a perfect life, but because he lived a purposeful one. Wherever you are in life, whether you're 25 or 75, remember Henry's shed, that small space where hope burned brighter than failure. You might not build an engine, but you can still build a legacy. Maybe you're retired. Maybe you feel like your best years are behind you. But let Henry remind you, your next chapter might just be your most powerful. That idea you had, that story you've been meaning to write, that invention sketched in your notebook. Start now, because history doesn't remember those who started early. It remembers those who never stopped. So, if this story moved you, if Henry's life made you think, if you believe it's never too late to change the world, click that subscribe button. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment. What's the dream you're still chasing? We bring you real stories of real people who dared greatly. And the next one might just inspire your greatest leap yet. Henry Ford changed the world. Now it's your turn.